Alright, this is the last video of Cat is Back. It's gonna be, I think there's like 3 sets to get through. I'm gonna try and not do commentary like this anymore. I think I'll just take highlights of certain games. Like for LTL, I'm not gonna go over like every turn of every game and play that. I'll probably just go over some interesting points from each match or stuff like that. At the time of recording, LTL is in week 2. So by the time you see this, it's probably going to be over in like a month ago. But yeah, I kind of want to get away from just like regular commentary just because it's a little boring to record and I think a little boring to watch, and you know, short attention spans and all that. And you know, most people don't want to watch like 8 games of switching around for most of it. I think they'd rather just want to get straight to the highlights. But I hear this set is really hype at Invoking Azure versus Melninja. I saw a lot of talk around it. Armaldo with the hidden power bug, not very common, but really useful there. Azure is presenting a little bit more of an offensive team with Glalie and an Armaldo that doesn't have like seismic toss, I guess, as its attack, or like mono rock move. Melninja bringing classic Chansey. Losing that Machamp early to Glalie is probably gonna, it looks like it's gonna be an issue. Azure does have a Weezing, the classic Skarmory Weezing, during this time. By the way, this is also the last video about Raikou, with Raikou in it. So that might be in the back for either of these players. Melninja reveals the Lunatone, meaning that something in the back is fast and high special attack, like Raikou. But it could be something else. Melninja doesn't usually like Raikou. Right now it's just Chansey's trading into each other. Weezing's gonna pain split here. Switch out into where, though, is the question. Slacking is an interesting Pokemon. At the point in, especially at Encore Slacking. I guess I should have guessed that because I've seen Encore Slacking on stall before, with Rest and something else. Because Slacking has not just a lot of attack, but also a lot of defenses. And then, of course, Chansey can just aromatherapy Slacking's Rest off. So it disabled the Lunatone. We've got Vaporeon. It looks like Melninja's going to try and get through Chansey as the game plan here, but it's going to be pretty difficult. It reveals that it is Raikou that the Calm Mind is being passed to. Azure goes Slacking and Melninja switches out, meaning that Raikou probably doesn't have Substitute, or Melninja just wanted a free Calm Mind, but doesn't take the Calm Mind. Goes Tentacruel instead. Tentacruel might not have Sludge Bomb based on how it's been playing. Chansey just gonna Seismic Toss it. Win condition for Azure looks like it's gonna be getting through Melninja's Chansey. A Thunder Wave will certainly do that into Slacking with Return. Goes Weezing instead. What's the goal here? Because Melninja can go Lunatone or Tentacruel. A Poison here would be really bad, but it's not what happens. Chansey's Wish, so it can't have aromatherapy. Slacking is going to click Return. Just KO that Tentacruel. Raikou gets a free Calm Mind, but Chansey is still healthy, so looks like Melninja's just gonna try and go for broke with a crit or a full paralysis here. No other way through Chansey. And because it didn't reveal sub on Slacking, that Thunder Wave was pretty free. It looks like Azure has this one, because it just has to click Seismic Toss a bunch of times. Probably could have spared the Armaldo there. Or I guess might be trying to pull in Slacking. No, Weezing. Haze, get Chansey back in, perhaps? But you'd still need something for opposing Chansey. Melninja actually goes Chansey there. That might have just cost him the game. Well, maybe not, because Chansey can just soft-boiled off slacking, but switches instead. A lot of mysterious plays going on here. Maybe they're thinking something that I'm not thinking? I mean, clearly. I think Melninja just has to go Chansey versus Chansey every time. Unless it could be Rest Raikou because of no sub, and Lunatone is like preemptively supposedly setting up the Calm Minds for it. Unless it's that's just Lunatone with passing a substitute. Probably for the Machamp, more likely than the Raikou, but also could have gotten the Raikou in, so Raikou is probably going to be Rest. Chansey's paralyzed. Azure goes Vaporeon. I think Azure could just go Weezing and win from here, because Weezing kind of hard walls this Chansey. And Raikou is paralyzed, so it's going to have to take 2 Sludge Bombs. Vaporeon's just going to pass a substitute to Slacking, though. Get an easy turn in for Slacking. Focus Punch is going to go through. It's going to have to bite against Raikou and like bite and attack with the substitute, but Raikou could always swing it back. They've said GG to each other, but makes me wonder what's the last move on Raikou, because it's CM Thunderbolt in power. Revealed no sub. I don't know, maybe Crunch. Must have been. So Azure's going to take that one off of Melninja. Alright, on to game 2. Lantern vs. Swallow. This is probably the Endeavor team. Ladder Heckler is heckling. Swallow Haunter comes in, I think, a turn too early. No, it was avoiding the berry, and then gets its own substitute off. It's going to Thunderbolt, break Swallow sub, or Psychic. Haunter is sub leftovers on Melninja. That's interesting. Swallow's going to Endeavor Chansey. I was going to say misplays with the Soft Boil. Swallow returns into Rhydon. So Melninja's versus Swallow has got like 313% across 6 party members, so it's not looking good. We got Tentacruel is going to end up getting Endeavored as well. Oh, I think I might have watched this game actually, because yeah, I remember this weird play, because I think that Sceptile was really important to verse the Lantern, because like with a team full of Endeavor Pokemon, like they can all take this out. Sceptile can finish off the Haunter with like a Hidden Power Ice. But yeah, not everything is going to be able to take out the Lantern at 1 HP, because Lantern has a lot of tricks up its sleeve. It could substitute itself, it could Thunder Wave. Lots of stuff could happen there. Smeargle comes in. I think it might be a little bit early on this. Yeah, because like Smeargle can't touch Haunter. Arcanine has HP Grass, beat the Lantern, but had this switching on it. Oh, that's Hidden Power Ground actually, so it looks like it might be impossible for Azure to touch Haunter from here. And so seeing Haunter like that with Eradicate, I would have assumed that he would have saved Sceptile. Melninja says he's seen the team. This was a little popular team for a little bit. Azure acknowledges the misplace. Haunter just kind of bad into, or the other way around. Endeavor bad into Haunter teams. which explains why Melninja was so willing once he saw Swallow to be able to give up like so much health on the first 4 Pokemon to be able to take it out. I do think that Sceptile being preserved shouldn't have been the second Endeavor user, given what was revealed. Like at least go Arcanine so that you can get Arcanine hits basically all of these if it outspeeds, of course. Except for Tentacruel. So anyways, going to game 3. Melninja brings Omastar, Azure brings Glalie again. Are we going to see Slacking again, is the question. Glalie's taunting. A couple of turns too late there. I don't think Omastar had any reason to keep spiking after 1. Because I assume that Melninja's going to have a Rapid Spinner in the back. Blastoise, classic Melninja spinner. Blastoise could roar here. Wish goes up, Blastoise gets the spikes off. Spikes are off for Melninja's side of the field permanently. For Azure's usual structures, I think that's pretty bad. We'll see what he has in the back that might have wanted just 1 spike around. A lot of Melninja's game plans is removing spikes, so it's interesting that he has Omastar here with spikes. Melninja doesn't always run spikes, is what I'm trying to say, and so I wonder what's in the back for Melninja as well, that he decided to bring Omastar. Most of the time it's just Rapid Spin spikes off his side of the field and then play spikeless the whole game. Azure's got some pretty standard Chansey Weezing with Vaporeon or Armaldo. Still wondering what's in the back. Is it going to be Slacking again? Melninja has Muck. I quite rate Muck. It's got a lot of... it's got a combination of traits that very few other Pokemon have. Its Substitute is above 100 HP if you spec it that way. It's got really high physical attack and it has Explosion. It also has Memento. I don't think Melninja is going to use Memento. I think it's just going to be Focus Punch on the Muck to try and sit on Chansey, especially if, unfortunately, this Chansey is Thunder Wave, but that just means Marowak is always going to be able to come in free on Chansey. So Muck Marowak is a pretty good combo here for Melninja. Knowing that Azure brings Chansey so many times. Weezing also not going to be able to do very much against Muck because Muck also has a really big special defense to live if Weezing had like Hidden Power Ice. But Muck has Shadow Punch as its Weezing attack, so I'm feeling like this is going to be quite a long battle. Because Weezing is also good into the rest of these guys pretty much, except for Omastar, but Omastar's at half health. Muck is Sub Punch. Vaporeon's just going to have to Baton Pass out here, back into Weezing. Unfortunately, Weezing's just going to have to take a million Shadow Punches. How many PP is... Oh, 32. I think Muck just has this, period. Because Vaporeon doesn't appear to have Roar. It doesn't have Roar. Armaldo might be able to Earthquake if it has it, though I doubt it. Oh, it actually has revealed it. My bad. Which makes me wonder why Azure is not going Armaldo when Muck is sub Shadow Punch Focus Punch. Umbreon doing what Umbreon does best. Either hardwalls a whole team or dies before it does anything of value. Marowak comes in faster than Weezing. Double Edge is going to KO. Switches to Armaldo. Armaldo's toxic. That's why I wasn't brought in on the Muck earlier. Melninja's just going to substall with Marowak. I think he might switch this turn. Nope. Just attacks. Chansey comes in. I think that leaves Vaporeon in Seismiclaws range. Melninja believes so too and just clicks it. Marowak can't come in on a Seismic Toss, so Melninja will have to try and maneuver Marowak in on the turn when Chansey switches out or clicks soft boiled. Could also try to sneak in an Omastar now that the spinner's gone. Elects to just keep spamming Seismic Toss, no reason not to. I feel like that was an easy substitute turn for Vaporeon unless Omastar has Hidden Power. Might have been fearing that. I think Melninja definitely has this because, I mean, just Muck wins from here. And can get Muck in right now. Gets Omastar in instead, spikes just to stop the chance he's slacking swap between. Like it'll wipe out Slacking's health over time. Surfs on the Focus Punch. Fluent turn, Muck comes in, quick substitute, it's over. Clicks Toxic instead. And then Muck Focus Punches, and the game is officially over now. I don't think there's anything Azure could possibly do to win this from here. So, skipping forward, Omastar finishes the game. Meryl Muck, a really good pair in this meta where there's a lot of Wheezing and Chansey. One of them will be able to answer Chansey every time, and then Marowak very strong into Wheezing. Let's go on to the next set. Melninja wins that one over Azure. So it looks like the link expired because it's saying Smog Tours does not exist, but I thought the whole point of Smog Tours was that you can use the link share and the replay as the same link and that it doesn't expire. So I'm gonna take a second to see if I can edit this. Okay, we're back. I had to change the link a little bit. Let me just, okay, we're both on the same side. The replay got recorded as the room. I don't know, but I found it. So, okay, so now this is all queued up. This is losers finals. Whoever finishes this will face Wenderz in grand finals. Melninja straight off with what appears to be Choice Band Kangaskhan. I've been wondering about Kangaskhan as a fast attacker for a while because, I mean, it's pretty fast for it's pretty fast for how bulky it's usually run, and it as a bulky set isn't that great. So I've always been interested in offensive Kangaskhan. Registeel, Spreading Paralysis as Chungler gets spikes up. Slowbro is not going to love that. Especially with Regice and Scizor on the team. I think that Slowbro is going to have a pretty tough time here. Melninja is going to have a spinner in the back, but probably does, knowing him. Wish Chansey is going to heal up the Kangaskhan so it can keep spamming the double edge, or just Earthquake, makes more sense against Scizor. Scizor Swords Dances, goes in Dragonite. I was going to say Dragonite, going Dragonite into Scizor Swords Dancing is very indicative of a Fire-type Dragon move, or Fire-type Dragon move, a Fire-type move on Dragonite. Appears to be Speed Tie that Chungler won, and I think Melninja was kind of banking on Dragonite being his Scizor answer. A bit of a, like, if you needed Dragonite there, then maybe preserve it into Slowbro versus Chungler's Dragonite, but I mean that just shuffles Slowbro around because Chungler has 3 Slowbro answers on his team, depending on the set. It could just be Psychic Ice Beam. Very interesting. So yeah, Scizor does wall that. They're already saying GG, so whatever's in Melninja's back is not going to be able to cut it. Registeel catches Focus Punch. Oh, that actually KO'd Registeel. Wouldn't have expected that. No item means that Dragonite might just be focus banned, or choice banned. And that would make sense. Vaporeon being paralyzed means Kangaskhan cleans it up. Dragonite. Taking hidden power. And yeah, that's wrapped. Melninja might have still had a chance if Dragonite was KO'd. So I think Melninja's lament was not that he lost his own Dragonite, but that Chungler's Dragonite was not KO'd by that. Because otherwise I think Melninja might have had that. I don't know if this is game 1 or 2, I just fetched the replays. Melninja seems to be bringing the Endeavor Spam team. Nope. Passes sub to Raikou. Raikou is going to switch back to Quillfish. Regice. Regirock. Destiny Bond. Melninja bringing spikes again. Quillfish gets crit, that's unfortunate. Subtile, we see the dreaded Miltank come in. Miltank's going to be able to handle double Endeavor Spam because, like, I can just Milk Drink out all 16 Endeavors between the two Pokemon. The question is, will it be able to take on Subtile's Leaf Blades after the Milk Drink? Yeah, 25 is fine. So Miltank's going to be able to Body Slam here. Uses a Milk Drink. Unfortunate that Melninja brings in Regirock. Miltank had enough to out-heal all the Endeavors, doesn't anymore. So we'll see how Chungler wants to play this. Maybe has another healer in the back. Also just has Quillfish, which can Poison Point the Endeavor if needed. Hitmontop, Mach Punch doesn't KO Regirock substitute. That's funny. Melninja's a big Hitmontop enjoyer, but the fact that it can't even break a super effective substitute means that maybe Hitmontop is not good enough for you, UBL. Subtile comes in, threatening a Leaf Blade, probably just going to sub anyways. Chungler Focus Punches, trying to see if sub happens or a switch. Dodrio comes into Quick Attack, so that would be why Chungler is a little bit more liberal with the Milk Drink earlier, or maybe just didn't think it was that big of a deal. Sacks Quillfish to the Regirock Explosion, and we're going to see either Miltank be able to bring this home against Raikou even, or Regice is going to have to beat it after Dodrio just spams Quick Attack into everything. When Subtile comes in, it won't have enough to make a sub, so Dodrio has 2 Quick Attacks, and then needs to switch something into Chansey, or not Chansey, Raikou. Miltank fine to be sacked there, can just go Regice and spam Ice Beam from here. Raikou Calm Minds. One more and it can substitute, so Regice would ideally Thunder Wave here if it has it. Regice Earthquakes? What? That's crazy. Unfortunately, it looks like Raikou's going to be able to live this unless there's a crit happening. I would have, if I was Chungler, I would have spent one more turn checking if Raikou is Sleep Talk before going Dodrio, because Dodrio might be the only way through that. And so if it just got Sleep Talk Thunderbolted, that was just over. But yeah, the game's over now because Chungler just goes Dodrio and Quick Attacks. So that's losers finals. Chungler still had an unrevealed Pokemon in the back. We'll never know what it is. So now on to Grand Finals. I'm gonna have to fetch those replays, 1 second. Grand Finals, Game 1. Chungler's in loser's bracket, Wenderz is in winners. So Chungler would have to take 4 games off of Wenderz before Wenderz gets 2 wins on Chungler. See what happens. Wenderz leads Lantern. Wenderz has been a Lantern enjoyer for a while. With the Registeel meta, Lantern wasn't great, so it is the Thunderwave variant. Regice is going to struggle into Lantern, although they're kind of ending up doing about the same amount to each other. Chunglers, Regice clicks Earthquake, so never mind about all that. That gives interesting plot points for the Registeel-less meta, because normally Lantern would hard wall Regice, but given that Regice just did 37 to Lantern with Earthquake, that could be an interesting development. We'll have to see where that goes going forward, because it seems to be working out for Chungler so far. Wenderz brings in Rhydon. Rhydon typically expectant of Chansey, but still very good against Miltank, because after 1 curse, its substitutes don't live Body Slam, but most people don't think that it would be able to. Miltank also would have to heal off the Toxic in the meantime. Quillfish Destiny Bonds takes out the Rhydon. Miltank doesn't have to worry about that anymore. Just has to get through the Registeel, and then I think Miltank's home free. Chungler Paraspam, so it might be Marowak in the back, which is going to be very unfortunate for Paralyzed Blastoise and Lantern. As soon as Wenderz goes Registeel again, Chungler might be able to bring in the Marowak if he has it, just for totally free. Actually no, Wenderz Registeel's Toxic over Thunderwave. A bit more of a rare pick, but Registeel is one of the better Toxic Pokemon a while ago. So it makes sense that he would still have this in his toolkit. Dragonite's going to come in to be the Regirock answer. I was going to say just probably trying to Earthquake twice to break this up, but will have to Heal Bell through this. Does. Dodges Paraflinch to heal Lantern off. Unfortunately, because Regice still has Earthquake, I don't think that's going to make too big of a deal. Chungler has Dodrio. Dodrio on Paraspam. Wenderz makes a bit of a overpredict and goes Alakazam, losing Alakazam to Dodrio. Where did Wenderz think Chungler was going versus Registeel? Is my question. Maybe guessing what's in the back might have something to do with Registeel, but I don't know. Because Alakazam at 66% Regirock might be able to KO with Psychic. Not sure. Miltank Heal Bells. It's gonna try and paralyze this Lantern as Lantern tries to paralyze it. Lantern not going to be making too big progress here. Miltank cursing. Are we going to see this team 5-0 again? Well, not 5-0, but 5 revealed for the win. Lantern Paraspams its way through Miltank. Dragonite last. Sub-Dragonite with leftovers. Might have Ice Beam. No. Hidden Power, and then it just has to Earthquake for the win from here. I think it KOs Lantern at this range. Crit might have mattered. I think it just depends on both Pokemon's EV spreads. Probably not, actually, but perhaps. I keep forgetting how massive Dragonite's attack stat is, and I think I've made that mistaken commentary before of the Dragonite Earthquake roll versus Lantern, where I underestimated Dragonite. So that's game 1 of Grand Finals winner-loser. This is game 2. I'm also going to speed this up a little bit just to make the video a little bit more watchable, I guess. Smeargle goes Spore, indicating Chungler has something for a sub Raikou on the back, if he's willing to just risk it all on a Spore hitting into a sub. Steelix comes in Scizor. Steelix might just be able to spam Earthquake here, because Scizor's not going to have... it typically runs Hidden Power Ground, but it's Morning Sun Scizor with Swords Dance. Spoilers, but this is a good Scizor set going forward after Registeel leaves as well. Sceptile gets a Leech Seed on. Leech Seed Sceptile, definitely the less popular version, but it can certainly be annoying. Sceptile's just going to substitute again here. Leech Seed next turn versus the Raikou. Actually, you might want damage here. No. I guess it makes sense that Leech Seed could just heal the Registeel. Leftovers Smeargle, interesting. Why would Smeargle want leftovers in the lead slot? I can't think of any reason unless there's a specific roll that 2 hits it without leftovers into 3 with, or 1 into 2. Well, no, it can't be 1 into 2, that doesn't make sense. Chungler's Registeel Explosion. Never leaves home without it. Smeargle spores the Lunatone, which means Raikou is pretty free to do whatever it wants. It spikes Smeargle. The leftovers might have paid off, but not in that scenario. Raikou crits Scizor. It's looking very strong for Wenderz here. But we'll have to get some predicts off on the Raikou interaction. Steelix probably going to Roar over Earthquake, because eliminating the Calm Mind off of it is better than well, anyone watching would know. Lunatone is the Dragonite check, but it's sleeping. I think Dragonite... well, it's kind of pushing the sleep turns. I was going to say Dragonite could probably get one more Dragon Dance off, but Lunatone is pretty healthy. So Hidden Power Flying wouldn't be doing too much against that specifically, and then Lunatone would just Ice Beam it to death. Regis has Seismic Toss, so Raikou's going to have to be going the offense here. And just misses the Seismic Toss kill. Goes for another Calm Mind to punch through the Regis and then hit the Raikou. Opposing Raikou could be a speed type, but it appears to be faster. Gets the paralysis, and suddenly it looks like Chungler has this one. If it's... Yep. If Wenderz didn't have the full pair on his side. Kingdra times 2 Thunderbolt, not going to cut it, and then Sleeping Lunatone loses to either Pokemon. Alright, so that is Grand Finals. That means that Junglers reset the bracket and they have to play another set together. Okay, this is Grand Finals reset, which means that, and prior to this, Raikou and Registeel both rose to OU, and so this is being played as on the OU rule set, but with Gen 3 UEBL legality. This is also the last set that is going to have Raikou in it, as well as Registeel, but Raikou is permanently dead after this. It'd be interesting if neither of them brought Raikou, but I think that they just made the agreement that at least one of them would. Because it would be a little bit unfortunate to have the last Raikou set not involve Raikou. Draco Pope looks like Paraspam again with Scizor. Scizor is not going to be able to cut it against Slowbro unless it gets lucky with a bunch of full paralysis. Might be fishing for that. Wenderz actually switches out into Steelix after seeing Hidden Power Ground come out. Steelix is going to take half, might pull in Regice, would be unfortunate. Quillfish. Scizor's just going to come back in and Swords Dance again, probably. Now it clicks Steel Wing against Dragonite. Morning Suns this turn. Actually switches into Regice. That's an odd play. I don't know why it would have switched out there. Maybe just feared a Dragon Dance on the Morning Sun potentially. Keeps Scizor healthy for to be able to take in Steelix Earthquake or Slowbro Surf. Chungler pulls in Alakazam, threatening Encore on Slowbro, forcing Wenderz out. Does have Encore. Chungler's run a few variations of Alakazam, so Encore is good in this matchup, but not necessarily expected as a bring from him. Quillfish trying to Destiny Bomb the Hariyama Earthquake, catches it instead of knockoff or anything like that. Houndoom is poised to clean, given that Steelix didn't switch out. Raikou last. Regice in. Is it going to be... No, it's Seismic Toss Regice this time. I mean, makes sense. Over Earthquake that we saw in the last two games from Chungler. Because Earthquake isn't doing too much more against Raikou. Also, it just has more power points versus a pressure Pokemon. Not as good against Lantern though, because it doesn't let break Lantern substitute. So I wonder what made him take the switch on Regice Earthquake into Seismic Toss. It might just have something to do with the EV investment required to get Earthquake up that high. At this point, Alakazam might be able to KO. Wenderz says, maybe it's for the best this Pokemon goes, referring to the full paras that just happened. On course, Raikou into Thunderbolt, which means that Dragonite just barely misses the KO, and Dragonite, of course, threatens basically anything on it. It's going to be tough for Chungler to get through Raikou at 42% at this point. How much HP is Scizor at? 42? Well, Dragonite's still at full health, so probably fine, good to go there. Because you can just sack Houndoom off into the Calm Minds to try and limit how much HP Raikou has. Houndoom actually lives a +1 Thunderbolt, that's crazy. Connects to Fire Blast for the KO. And that means that Chungler currently is 3-0 against Wenderz. If he wins once more, Wenderz still needs his 2 wins to win the tournament. So we're on game 2 of the set. Wenderz leads Tentacruel, goes Cradily. Wenderz a bit of a Cradily believer. We'll see if it pays off here. Hidden Power Grass. Chungler goes Scizor, given that Cradily basically can't do anything to it. Has Blaziken, it's Baton Pass Scizor this time. I don't know if it had Baton Pass prior, but didn't show it. Dodrio not choice banned. It's leftovers Dodrio. Not even a berry, it's just leftovers, huh? I wonder what this set is then. Baton Pass, Drill Peck, Hidden Power. What's last? Cradily could have a rock move, but I doubt it wants to stay in against Dragonite. It looks like it's a roll against Dragonite, but not against Cradily. Wenderz switches out just to be safe. Cradily seemingly good into Dodrio Scizor Vaporeon. Weezing, anticipating the swap, or the Baton Pass, with the Sludge Bomb. Alakazam comes into Encore Vaporeon. Chungler just trying to hold on to that Swords Dance pass in case Alakazam wasn't Encore. Chungler goes Quagsire though, takes half from Alakazam and then does 31 to Cradily, which is immediately recovered off. Chungler believes in Quagsire, it looks like, because that's at least the second time that he's brought it this tour, but I am not Quagsire believer. I've tried using Quagsire and I've seen it brought a lot, and it belongs in whatever tier it's in my opinion. Cradily, on the other hand, has some matchups that leave it pretty well. Having Recover is its big thing, and no more just with Recover. Vaporeon surfs as Blaziken stays in. Alakazam, depending on its set, might have this wrapped with Vaporeon gone. Dodrio could Quick Attack if it has it. Regirock requires a switch into Weezing, but doesn't. Wenderz decides that Alakazam does not have the coverage to be able to get through Dragonite, it looks like. Or Quagsire, perhaps. More likely Quagsire. But at the same time, Quagsire has switch-ins on Wenderz' side, so I think needed to preserve the Alakazam there, and might have lost the game for it. Dodrio, of course, might have Quick Attack, but because it's not choice banned, might not have been able to KO the Alakazam from there. Quagsire's Ancient Power, Sleep Talk, that might be its saving grace. If Quagsire does something this battle, it will be because it gets the Ancient Power boosts. Dragonite Heal Bells the Sleep and Poison and Burn off of Scizor. Or I guess Dodrio wasn't poisoned anymore. Weezing just gonna go straight back into Burning Scizor. Scizor Swords Dance pass into Tentacruel is threatening whatever comes in here. Evidently not HP Grass, opting for Electric for Qwilfish. Scizor not having attacked is interesting. Quagsire is just gonna probably fish for Ancient Power boosts here. Rests early. Wenderz' Tentacruel being paralyzed is going to make it almost impossible to get through Regirock if he's leaving it in versus Quagsire. Of course, Quagsire's Earthquake not doing anything. Ancient Power also not great. So it looks like Weezing is the Pokemon to beat for Chungler. Dragonite with Brick Break Heal Bell. I assume Dragon Dance. Chungler might start opting to conserve power points on Quagsire. Weezing not having Haze is also a bit of an issue at the moment. If I was... One thing that might come up that I didn't know about, that is of note for this match is that if you run out of power points for your attack, Sleep Power actually fails to call it. So if Quagsire expends its Ancient Powers before resting, then it's just can't use Ancient Power at all anymore. Chungler's trying to bounce between Pokemon to get either the full paralysis on Cradily or just use up all of its power points on Rock Slide so that Dragonite can come in. Chungler decides damage is good on Cradily over Quagsire's health, seeing as how it was walled by Weezing. I guess, how many rests did it have? 10, so that's 30 power points. Oh yeah, that's just been split, so Quagsire would have been hard-walled that whole time without the Swords Dance boost. And, of course, Cradily can just KO it. And now Weezing has the game. It just needs to keep Weezing healthy, and then after that point, I think that's all Wenderz needs to do. Regirock's burn, Scizor's burn, Dragonite is at 29, so can't take a hit from the Weezing. Dragonite, of course, has options of what it can do there. It opts to heal the burn off of Regirock, which is interesting because Weezing's in and Weezing can just reapply the burn. Regirock might be substitute, and that would be a disaster for Wenderz. With the Paralyzed Tentacruel, not much Wenderz could do with that. Just trying to sack it off to bring... I'll just go straight back Weezing. Regirock exploding there actually means that Dragonite can just quick Earthquake. Cradily is going to have to land a Rock Slide, but Dragonite is just barely outside of KO range, I think. Yeah, 1. It got 54 on the roll earlier, but I think that's a high roll. That was a very close game. So it looks like Chungler's winning this one. Unfortunately, one Raikou was brought in the 2 games for Grand Finals reset on Raikou's back. But yeah, congratulations to Chungler, possibly the first person to ever kick Wenderz out of winning a tournament that Wenderz has participated in all the way through. Yeah, that's that. Good times with Raikou around. We'll see the meta change as Raikou and Registeel are going forward, and we'll have to see what development comes after that. Catch you guys later.